After completing the initial Weight Watchers form, the acute care plan for the significant weight loss or significant weight gain will need to be completed as well. As we went over in triggers, there are many items in the Weight Watchers form that will trigger items in the care plan. So we've completed the Weight Watchers form, and we need to go to that residence care plan. So just click the care plan tab, and there's going to be two different ways to do this. If the resident has never had a care plan before in PCC, there's going to be a new button. So if you'll click new, it's going to go through this screen, do some computing, and you come to this screen here. And at the top you'll see view triggered items now. Before we click that, I want to show you the other way in the instance where the resident does have a care plan. In that instance, like for this resident, they currently have a care plan. If you click on edit over on the left hand side, you'll come to the resident's screen. Now, in both instances, when you come to the care plan detail screen, you're going to see view triggered items now. So click that, and it's going to show you everything that was triggered in that Weight Watchers form. Of course, we've got the focus or the problem statement. We got the resident's the goal for that care plan, and we've got all the interventions that triggered from the Weight Watchers assessment. This is canned in quotations right now. It's going to need to be edited. So, but you can't do that right here. We're going to select these, select what you want, and then we'll edit later. So, again, everything that's triggered here was triggered by the Weight Watchers form. So it's pretty safe to say that we need all these interventions, the focus and the go. So if we hit select all and then save, and that's going to carry us to the next screen. This is where we can actually edit the care plan. We have the resident's focus, and if you need to, or the go or the problem statement, if you need to edit that, just click edit. Then we have the resident's goal. The resident's weight will stabilize within 4 weeks. Again, if you need to edit that, you'll just click the edit right here. Then we come to the interventions. We got 2-cal, supplement with MedPass, etc., etc. All these interventions. You'll notice there's an orange triangle beside many of these interventions. That means that that intervention needs to be individualized for that resident. For instance, administer dietary stimulant as ordered, and we need to list the medication. That's in parentheses, so we need to edit that. So we click edit, a new screen pops up, and it's going to tell you personalization is required. So we need to list the medication that this resident's taking. We don't need list medication, that's just a visual cue. So we can eliminate that and then type in the medication. 1 milligrams, and then we save it. The orange triangle goes away, and we keep moving on. Let's say fortified eggs. Well, how often are they going to get fortified eggs? What meals are they going to get that with? So again, you'll hit edit, fortified eggs with breakfast. Save it. And again, the orange triangle goes away. And you'll keep working your way down until you have all the orange triangles disappeared, and that will indicate that you have individualized this residence care plan to match that resident. We won't do all of the orange triangles, but just to give you an idea. Print it. You just go to printable view. Click print. And the screen pops up. And here's your care plan. You just hit that print there, and it sends it to your printer. Also, there's some items that are good to know. If you see a K, a purple K in a box, that means that that populates to the kiosk in the residence Cardex. So if the CNA is to hit that residence Cardex, it's going to tell them to alert the DON if consumption is poor for more than 48 hours. It's going to tell them to encourage food-related activities. It's going to tell them what supplements they need. It's going to tell them to report any changes in eating habits. It's going to tell them to offer substitutes, so on and so on, so on and so on. So if there's a purple K, that's a communication to the CNA staff to the kiosk. Let me go back real quick. Let's say this week we've done a new Weight Watchers form, and we've changed some triggers, and we need to either add or take away. So we've done our new Weight Watchers form. We've determined that we need to add or remove an item from the care plan. So if we go back to care plan, and there's our care plan, we're going to edit. And let's say that the stimulant the dietary stimulant that was ordered, the doctor just de-seeded. So if you click edit on that, you'll click resolved and save it, and it goes away. If you need to add an intervention, just go to new intervention, and it's going to give you the choices that you can add. Let's say fortified milk or fortified brownie, and it's going to have a place where you can put a check box or a check mark in this box. If there is no box for a check mark, that indicates that it's already in the care plan, or it's been resolved, like the dietary stimulant. So let's say we're going to add fortified milk. Save that, and the fortified milk will show up as bold to let you know that that's the one you added. It of course has a orange triangle, so we need to edit that. We need to individualize it. Fortified milk with all meals. Save it, and it's done. Okay. If you need to add an intervention that is not listed here, you can just do new custom intervention. And you can type in anything you want. Save it, and it's now there. Again, if you add a intervention, it's going to put it in bold so you'll be able to see it, and then you can reprint this care plan. Whenever the resident's weight stabilizes and no longer needs to be on the Weight Watchers program and is no longer a significant weight loss, we need to resolve this whole care plan. We don't want to continue this unless we are doing these items. So if the resident has stabilized, it's time to resolve this care plan. If you'll go to the go or the focus statement, click edit, and we can resolve that. So click resolve, save it, and it's now gone away. If if you ever want to see the resolved care plans, if you'll just click here in the show resolved or canceled, click that, the screen will refresh and the items will reappear. But it's going to show as resolved. Of course, all you have to do to start this care plan back up is to say unresolved. And you can choose the goals, all the interventions you want to do. If you don't want to continue with that intervention, then you just don't check it. Save it. And now the care plan is back. And it will show you the items that were resolved and were not carried over. Of course, if you want to hide the resolved problems or interventions or goals, you just uncheck that, and anything that's resolved will be hidden.